and as a charger.
Yeah, that was really well put. But of course, it's going to be an even balance. Of some players tend to be a little bit more skilled at certain roles, such as backline, frontline, midline. Particularly, I've been taking a look at both these teams, and you see a lot of backline players. But of course, it's gonna be the great challenge of seeing where they can actually flex to other things to sort of suit whatever their team needs.
Yeah, and starting off right now, we had Win just go straight in, just showing off basically what the Slayer does. You want to just go in, just try and get the kills that you can possibly, get out, and comes away with 2 nice kills right there.
Alpha team right now looking really, really strong, but of course, Bravo team just pulling it back a bit. Mario, of course, with that patented dynamo, showing, of course, why he's actually really strong with that weapon. Doesn't manage to get the pick. Of course, Win just goes straight in, trying to show exactly that frontline aggression that Duke was talking about.
Yeah, it seemed like he was trying to make sure that he can possibly Duke out Win right there. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the pick on that. But other than that, maybe it's probably a good time right now to... Oh, okay. Gets a nice splat coming in. Just go straight in.
That baller.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Mario is definitely one of those, one of those players that gets a little bit more aggro with his, I guess the Dynamo's definitely been known for that in the community.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice inkjet shot.
Yeah, beautiful inkjet shot. 3 members of Alpha Team go down right here, despite the fact that they do have the zone. Genie having to force to move back a little bit, trying to see if he can actually regroup with the rest of his team before they move up. Dude, I actually wanted to ask you something. What are your thoughts right now currently on the Dynamo? Because it's like we have so much talk about frontline, midline, backline, and we don't really get to see exactly what the Dynamo tends to offer a particular team.
It's definitely much more of a rarer pick. I think mainly because it's just since, I guess, in the meta that we've been in, or I guess previous metas that we've been in, it's not really been one of the most popular picks in, well, I guess back in then. But now, more-ish, I could see it being used a little bit more since it has got a bunch more painting buffs and all that. And definitely the Gold Dynamo in particular is actually a really good pick for being a midline, since you do get armor and it has a really good pick. It has definitely good range, good killing power, and it's just a matter of people using it well,
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense, of course. Mario putting up so much pressure, of course, with the double bomb ink armor combo coming in from that Dynamo, but of course that's not exactly enough. Bravo team does lose one of their players, and of course they lose control of the zone. Just for a split second before they're able to regain it back again. It seems like both teams are a little bit of a stalemate right here, trying to see what kind of picks they can get before they push up to the zone.
Yeah, they're definitely being very cautious of how they push in. It's not like a thing where, I guess in things like solo queue and stuff like that, where you kind of just go in and just try to expect something to happen, or just, I guess, imagine yourself getting like a triple kill just out of the blue. That's definitely in stuff like competitive. People tend to play a little bit more slower. They're trying to find and pick who they can maybe take out first, and they have to kind of structure themselves around the map to see what they can do.
Yeah. It's interesting. We were seeing a lot of this frontline aggression coming from Win, but like, one thing I'm noticing too from frontline play is that you see a lot of sharking. Win definitely trying to not only just kind of like maintain a lot of in control, but kind of just camping on these particular spots where he actually does think that certain players on the opposing team are going to be showing up.
I really like what Gator did right there. He found the opportunity to take out a player and then goes straight for his inkjet, knowing that he actually took a little bit of damage on Win right there, and just to be able to finish the kill there. But right now, as you can see, he's definitely showing his frontline skill right now, as he's just taking out all the players left and right, getting a nice 4 kills right there.
Yeah, look at Gator go. He's not only just being able to camp that entire left side of the map right here, takes out Win in the process. 3 players on Alpha Team do go down, and of course the lead is going to go to Delta Team right now. Gator putting in so much work for the rest of his team.
Yeah, he's also really, really close to the inkjet right now. It doesn't feel like he really needs it right now, since he already had so much paint on the ground. And of course the game was about to end too, so great job for Team 2.
Yeah, Team 2 definitely coming in super clutch. Gator, of course, being a bit of an MVP towards like the end part of the game. Of course, this is a team-based game. Everybody did really well in coordinating there. Of course, wow, Gator, of course, with the 16 KA and then 5 inkjets there, pulling it really a bit of a clutch situation right there towards the end of the game. doing really well for the rest of the team.
Yeah, just wanted to point out like the special usage of both teams. It was fairly even, so it was more like I do really feel like that the kills that Gator did get in the end there really did show, I guess, how the games ended, or how I guess where the game was going. Because when it comes to when it comes into a situation where I guess a player gets several kills over and over again, and it just becomes a thing where they're just not dying. It can really, I guess, change like how the game proceeds and concludes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we are set for game 2 right here in this best of 3. Of course, tower control on Wahoo World is going to be our stage. Tower control, of course, on Wahoo is going to be like a very wide open map. So it's interesting to see what sort of dynamic both teams are going to be bringing into this. I think the great thing, too, is that there's a lot of players that are very familiar with long-range weapons. Of course, you got... I think it was Astro Cities, of course, plays Ballpoint, Hydra, a lot of other backline weapons. But if I do recall correctly, I think it was MKV, who's actually a really good. He listed himself as being a Splattershot Pro user, and he's actually, from what I've seen, he's actually very strong with it. So, what can you also tell me about this map, dude?
About this map, it's more of a thing where do you have the opportunity to push? Like, if you have the opportunity to push, really, like the thing that I guess you really don't want to lose is your right side. I guess where where the rail connects to the far right side. If you're looking at the map correct, I guess that little perch area on the I guess the right of the tower.
Yeah,
where the rail connects to. Basically, around that area, it's a really important area to make sure that you have control of, because once I guess the Slayer has gotten to this area on the opposing team, it can be very, very hard to actually try and get this back, and it also is the thing that can enable a push.
Oh yeah, for sure. I do think that a lot of this portion of this map is going to be dictated by what happens exactly in the first 30 seconds towards mid. Of course, there's going to be a lot of aggression coming in. Now, both teams actually switching that up a little bit. We do actually see MKV bringing in that Tri-Slosh Nouveau, which I think is going to be coming in real handy. But also we got Niley's Brush, which she is also listed as being very comfortable on. So, very interesting to see how this game is going to play out exactly.
Interesting. Oh, we got a really nice bomb kill by Win, possibly being able to pick up the third, right in the middle right there, get in the third. Now, it seems like, well, Team 1 have full control. They actually got a full wipe right there, and we already have Win standing on the tower. Getting a couple more points just to wait for his midline weapon to go and stand on it. Gets the Inkjet out to keep the aggression up. As you can see, the rest of the players are supporting him right there with his Inkjet, getting a nice assist. Nice job, Win.
Beautiful push so far happening. Of course, they're going to have to just back off a little bit. The Stingray does come out to sort of just tell the opposite team, hey, get off the tower. Unfortunately, Gator tries to actually push in, gets taken out by the rest of his teammates. And now just, of course, Team A just kind of doing a beautiful job just standing back and trying to wait for any opportunity before they go and make a push.
We have also we just want to point out that both teams actually managed to get both of their ink armors out, so it's kind of a what?
Whoa! Is that a bomb?
That was a triple bomb.
Alright, you don't see those every day.
Yeah, for sure. That just magic, I guess. All right. Well, I mean, gets taken up by Gator, but still a triple bomb. That's definitely a thing that's going to hold the team back a little bit more. It's just a matter of, I guess, Team 2 just to be able to get the Stingray maybe to help stop this tower, but it seems like Gator's actually trying to take this a little bit of a sneakier approach, just trying to flank the players that they want, I guess, want aware of him. Fortunately now he's actually the last one alive, so he has to kind of be a little bit more careful just to, try and take the tower out, but unfortunately gets taken up by Win.
A lot of frontline aggression there. Seems like, of course, Gator being the last one up and just facing an entire team stacked with ink armors, of course. Now it's up to Team 1. Of course, they push up with that ink armor and the Inkjet. That's going to be coming in real huge, of course. They're still pushing it up. It's up to Team B to sort of see what they can actually do to pick off the opposing members. Gator picks off Wind in the process and trying to see if now they can actually make a little bit more of an offensive push towards mid.
Yeah, that is the case right now. Seems like right now, at this point, we have Gator who has his baller. Player manages to jump out from Team 1. Nice jump out by them. Now, it seems like Team Team 2 now have control of the tower right now. It's just if they can play the game right a little bit, just to be a little bit more careful there. We got Nile with the ink brush, or the octo brush actually, and unfortunately I missed it, but we now, it seems like Team 2 actually, or Team 1 actually have now control back of the tower, and they also do have their specials route, and it seems like they are getting them out and trying to take out their enemies. Ooh, nice.
Back and forth. Oh, a lot of back and forth action. Of course, Nile coming up super huge with that octopus. That's going to be a team wipe coming in for Team 1 right here. And that's going to be super huge as they continue to push that lead from 28 and onwards.
Yeah,
it's going to be a matter of...
Sitting here with Nile right here, gets a nice pick with the octo brush right there. Fortunately for Team 1, they get straight up taken out. And it seems like Team 2 now have the control. Mario does have the Stingray, may be able to support with this. Just needs to paint a little bit more, and it looks like he's actually going straight up for the Stingray. Fortunately, gets taken out by Genie. I think it was just because, I guess, the bad placement right there. But it's alright.
Now, actually, from your experience, if Team 2 has wants a shot of being able to actually push this up from 88, what do you think would probably be the best thing to do in a situation like this? Of course, Team 1 pushing up mid, they do have map control. It seems it's going to be a bit of a daunting task with 50 seconds left on the clock.
I think the problem, well, not the problem, but like I think what they kind of need to focus on is just to play a little bit slower. I feel like the times when they have had some sort of control, I feel like the issue is that they are a little bit too quick, and unfortunately, sometimes when they're too quick without, I guess, pushing with the specials and all that, they tend to lose players as they're going in. But as you can see right now, I just want to point this out. Wind get a nice triple to, you know, take out Team 2.
Wind actually coming up super huge for Team 1, of course. But yeah, I think that's kind of like the back and forth story. It seems like Team 2 is a little over-eager in these situations where they want to be able to pick off players, and then just that proper placement just gets them punished so hard. Of course, Nile having that inkjet ready, but doesn't actually get the opportunity to be able to use it. Now, this is pretty much going to be the last push that Team 2 is going to be able to have. Hopefully, they're going to be actually be able to actually push up. Rain Cloud does go out. Has to be just get a little bit off the tower just for a second because of that suction bomb. But I think this is pretty much going to be the final last stand that Team 1 is going to be able to make.
Yeah, it's just the thing that I just want to notice as well. Thing I noticed as well is that they played off their specials at that point, which kind of allowed them to get a few more points on the ball. Unfortunately, though, they do get taken out with Wind just coming in just to take out the personal tower and then reclaiming control.
Yeah. That would have been a really, really hard push. I think it would have been possible, considering that Team 1 didn't actually pack a Stingray. The Stingray, of course, being, I think, a pretty popular pick for most tower control situations. But that being said, it was still kind of an uphill battle. I mean, it's really hard to be able to push in overtime to get that, like, what, plus 13 point lead, really? Especially when you're just starting a mid-push in overtime. So, not going to be... the easiest thing to do, but of course that does tie up the set to 1-1, and we're now in a bit of a tiebreaker. I think this is what this isn't the last game, is it?
No, yeah, I believe it is. This is a best of 3.
Oh, yes, it is. Okay, so of course we are going to our tiebreaker match, round 3, which is going to be Rainmaker on Black Belly. Now, I do believe that this map and mode combination did get a little bit of an overhaul recently. Of course, Rainmaker Black Belly, if I recall correctly, had the midpoint of the map was a lot higher than it used to be. There was a lot of vertical plays that usually used to happen on this map, but you know, of course, because of the recent patches that we've had, I think a lot of that verticality has been lowered. So, but the thing is I'm still kind of correlating on to how that impacts certain comps and weapons. So perhaps maybe, dude, you can actually shed a little bit of light on this.
Just to mention, I actually really like how it is right now. Like, can we just mention like how like annoying it used to be, but now it's just like, wow, this Black Belly Rainmaker is actually a really nice map. But
yeah.
To mention though, well, go on.
I'm a bit of an unpopular opinion here because I play a lot of rollers, so like that verticality for me, it was just like, oh, it was so good. But now,
Yeah.
like, they change it, and I don't really have all that much ledge play as I used to. I mean, not to say that there isn't that much ledge play in this map. There's still a fantastic amount of that going on. But I'm eager to hear what you think is like how it benefits other weapons and comps and strategies.
I feel like it's a thing where it kind of benefits the longer range weapons, really. Like, I feel like previously, before, like, weapons like H3 didn't really used to... I mean, people would use NZEP instead of H3, but since, like, the map's somewhat been stretched out just a little bit more, so a lot more people are, like, playing H3 now because there's a lot more straightaways and a lot more flat... Like, you don't have to look up and down as much, so it's just more flat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that does actually make a lot of sense. And that flatness is actually going to come in quite handy, and we do see, I believe it was Win that actually is packing a Tent Umbrella for this map. This is something I don't see very often. Never mind the Tent Umbrella, it's just Tent Umbrella on Black Belly? Is that a thing?
I mean, I guess so, since it is Rainmaker. Like, I guess it's more of a Rainmaker pick because it can really help when you are trying to lead a push or something like that. Because it's just like, if you get the Tent Umbrella in front, you just shoot the shield up, you have all your teammates behind them, and then you're just kind of pushing behind the Tent Umbrella. It's kind of like how in Overwatch when you have using, I guess, Reinhardt, and he's just kind of leading the way. It's just somewhat of the same thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Now that I completely see it. Especially since, some of those maps also are kind of like very short and clustered. So a Tent Umbrella, I imagine, would probably be a pretty, actually, good pick for this. Of course, when using that Tent Umbrella and Bubbles to actually take a lot of mid-control right here. And that's going to probably provide a couple of opportunities for Team 1 to be able to push up. Of course, that Tent Umbrella shrugging off bombs like it's no big deal. It's fine. They are making a push towards that tunnel, or that half-pipe, but this is still going to be one heck of an uphill battle.
Yeah, they really did try to get the Rainmaker to go towards that. I believe what their plan is that they're trying to get Wind to push the Tent Umbrella shield through the half-pipe. Since it is more of a narrow area within the map, so it's just really great for the Tent Umbrella to shoot its shield off. But on board with Mario right here, getting one kill, has the Booyah Bomb, throwing it down all the way into the spawn right now. This is actually a great opportunity for Team 2 to actually come into it. Mario coming in with the spawn camp, keeping all the players in Team 1 right in the spawn. 4 points? All the way to 1 point.
Oh, that was so close, but that for a split second right there reminded me of Dynamo from like Splat 1. Just all that like spawn camping and aggression, just like the good old days, dude. Just like the good old days.
Good old days.
Well, anyways, of course, Team 2 pushing up super hard right here. They still managed to get all this aggression off. They do have the ink armor at the ready, and decides to fire it off right here. Now it's just Team 1 trying to see what they can actually do to push it off. Now he does go down in the process, and right now Ant is just kind of trying to see if he can go for a flank. Bubbles do go up by Team 1, trying to see if they can actually shrink the bubbles before a push is actually made by MKV. They do have the advantage, of course, at 1 point, but this is still going to be a little bit of a daunting task to be able to actually push it.
Yeah, it was a pretty daunting task right there. I feel like what they could have possibly done, since like all the members were actually on the right side, I feel like they had the opportunity to maybe bring the Rainmaker onto the left, because it would, I guess there wasn't as much suppression at that point, or I guess at that point of the map. But still though, they do have a lot of control, and they're still pushing this Rainmaker really hard right now. There's only 2 members up onto the Team 1, I believe. And holding the Rainmaker, trying to lead it in, but unfortunately gets taken out by Wind coming into the Tent Umbrella. And seems like Team 1 are actually taking this back, trying to get to a little bit more control. Wind has the bubbles ready, and here he goes. Goes ahead and uses them, trying to get maybe a pick or two. Seems like they're also going to let the Rainmaker reset while they're just defending here, and the Rainmaker has been reset, and game is neutral right here.
Yeah, good play actually coming out from Team 1 right here. It seems like now, because of that Rainmaker reset, Team 2 has a little bit more to look out for. Of course, they have all that frontline aggression, but they're going to have to pull it back a bit if they want to be able to secure the Rainmaker. However, with 1 point left into their lead, it seems like they don't really have much to worry about. It seems like they just comfortably build up their specials and see what they do. Mario, of course, coming here for a flank, gets Niley, and now a double kill right there, coming up super huge. And of course, Mario's going to go back to his patented spawn camping strats right here. Of course, there's nothing really to worry about. He does have that Booyah Bomb at the ready. Tries to take out the couple of more members, and of course, firing off that Booyah Bomb in the process. This is going to be another just tale of just kind of all this frontline aggression coming in from Team 2 with that Rainmaker.
Yeah, right now for Team 1, a lot of things have to go right here since it is becoming, or is coming to overtime right now. As long as they can pick the Rainmaker up at this point, but Gator over here getting a really nice bomb kill, using Wind's shield against them, and just applying the pressure right now. Unfortunate for Team 1 there.
Yeah, there was just so much that they couldn't really handle with 2 members left on Team 1, just trying to secure the Rainmaker as much as they can around that maze part of the map. It wasn't looking very good for them, I'd say. But